Okay guys, so in this video, what I want to talk about is a strategy I've been using for a long time that is actually really common in the SaaS industry, or you should really just use it in any business you're ever doing ever. And it's called making muffin offers and making muffins. And the reason why we call it a muffin is just a saying. Instead of baking a cake, make a muffin. Let's imagine you had a idea for a recipe, all right, something you think people would love. Well, if you went and got all the ingredients to make a cake and went through the whole entire ordeal doing that, you'd invest a ton of time, a ton of ingredients, and then you'd be figuring out whether people like the cake or not after going through all that effort. You could easily just go out there and get just a few tiny ingredients together and make a muffin and give it to somebody, and they'd be able to tell you if the cake will be good or not. A really good indicator of how good a cake is going to be is if you were just to make a tiny muffin, a tiny portion of the cake that takes no effort, and then try that first. Now, in SaaS, people call this the minimal viable product. So this is going to be the product that you, going and making a very, very small product with one feature in it, and then that really makes customers happy. Now, it's a little bit different in courses and coaching and consulting. There's a lot of things you can do. So let me explain how to use this tactic in courses and consulting, because it's so important. Because if you've gone through this course so far, you might be experiencing some trauma. You might have realized your product or your entire business isn't really compatible with ads, and that's painful. And so you're probably thinking, oh, what do I need to go make a new product, or I need to go make a new product from scratch, or try this, or where do I start at? And then I'm gonna have to make this entire product and make this entire new business and this. No. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to go and make muffin businesses. We want to start very small and make sure the business will work before ever committing a ton of time into it. Okay? So for example, with Hyros, before I ever made any of the software, I did fake sales calls with people. I'd hop on calls with people. They come through ads, they come through my Facebook page, and I'd sell them Hyros, and I would just describe what it did. I had no software, no demo, no anything. And I just described what it did, and people were like, oh man, this is killer, I want to pay for this. And that's how I knew the product would work when I made it. Same exact thing with the Iron program. So for example, before I ever sold the Iron program, or I got a sales team, or built the videos or did anything for it, what I did is I literally I just ran a quick little ad to my customers, and I sold it via phone. And then when people are like, oh yeah, cool, I'll pay for the program, let's get started, I said, okay, the program's not available yet, but I'll contact you when it is. That's how I knew the program was going to work. The most important thing we got to understand here is we cannot see the future. Okay? We don't know if a market will respond. We don't know if our sales copy will convert. We don't even know if people want our product. We can use all those questions and indicators that we talked about in past videos, but at the end of the day, we got to try and sell it to somebody. And we don't want to go and invest 6 months of time, a month of time, before knowing if it's going to work or not. So we should never invest time into baking a huge product without these. So let's talk about backing up to product creation. How do we do this? So what you should do before ever making a product is, I think for at least 2 weeks before the product, it depends how large scale you want to go. I spent months doing this at Hyros, refining the product and what we were going to design, is you should spend a significant amount of time on mock sales calls. Especially like if it's a $2,000, $5,000 product, hop on sales calls with people. Post and say, hey, who wants help with this? Who wants to do this? Get on calls and sell it. Speak with your customers. Propose a sketch solution. So one thing I also did is a lot of my friends run ads. And so I get on calls with them and I drop a solution to fix their ads and to track their ads. And they say, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. I do like that. And so all I had to do to build a product was listen to what they were saying when they said, I like that. I like that thing. That looks good. So then the next thing I want to do is I want to sell people a product that doesn't exist. You might not be able to do this if you're brand new starting a business, but if you have money coming in, the best thing you can do is run ads for a product that doesn't exist. Send people to a sales page. If people start checking out, of course, refund them their money, give them their money back, but you're going to quickly see, oh, okay, this is exactly what people are going to buy. Okay? And talk about a product, talk about it on your Facebook wall and see how people respond. If when I started mentioning Hyros, people were freaking out. People are going nuts in the comment section. Oh man, Alex, where can I get this? Let me spend money here. Let me spend money here. I said, oh, I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you. Okay. And so, for example, I'll post a few images in the group, but I mean, like I'll skim through my Facebook wall and you'll see exactly how people were freaking out 6 months ago for Hyros. That's how I knew I was on the right track. And if people are not freaking out or PMing you over your idea or pestering you, you haven't quite nailed the product market fit. And you have to understand that product market fit is the ultimate challenge in starting a business. Most businesses totally ignore this, and you can build a successful business without an epic product market fit. But if we want to go to the moon and we want our business to be easy, we need a good product market fit. It's where if we just showed this to the customer without a webinar, without a long pitch, and just said, this is what it will do for you. This is what it will fix. Hey, you have a course business, man. If you just put ads on YouTube, you could double the business. Do you want me to just help you put ads on YouTube? Yes. If I did another thing, so I said, man, all right, so you have a course business, and oh man, so you want help putting ads on Facebook? No, not really, because there's a billion other Facebook ad courses out there, and it's not really a challenge for me. I'm already running Facebook ads. You see how that product market fit is completely different, and I could have done that and figured out if one product would work on the other just by talking to 3 people. That's the definition of baking a muffin. So we want to find that product market fit. And the signs of the product market fit are what I was talking about before. You hop on sales calls and everybody buys. You post on your Facebook wall and people freak out. People are checking out even on weak sales pages. That's when you've nailed the product market fit. For example, Hyros, I can hop on, people send me Facebook messages. I hop on a 5-minute call, or I just say in Facebook Messenger what it does. People sign up for $9.97 to $3,000 a month accounts like that. That's product market fit. That's just product market fit. You can't, and that's when ads become easy. That's why our Hyros ads are so profitable. They're like 500% ROI, and they're not even optimized right now. So how do we bake muffins? Let's just go through a perfect example. Post about a made-up product on your wall, or go to networking events and discuss your product that doesn't quite exist yet. Say, PM me if interested in the post. Say, hey, look, I have this product that does this, this, and this. This is how it does it. It's going to solve this problem. PM me if interested. You should start seeing a lot of people PMing you and saying, wow, that's awesome. Or give me a 1 if this sounds amazing to you. Okay? Then if people PM you, hop on a sales call with them. Say, hey, can I talk to you about the product and tell you what it's doing? What's your problem that you're having? Oh, I'm having trouble with this. I'm having trouble getting more surgical clients. Let's hop on a call real quick, and I'll talk about how I can fix that for you. And then sell the product on the call. All right, do that 10 to 20 times if you want to be really confident. And then look at the conversions and get feedback on people. If people don't buy, ask, hey, why aren't you buying? Oh, because I'm really having trouble also with my landing page design. Oh, okay, then what if we throw in landing page design? Okay, I'm in. That's how you figure out the perfect product and get that product market fit. You can't just guess at it. And so you ask people that don't buy on your fake sales call or your fake sales page, why didn't you buy? What's wrong with it? What could I add that would have done that? Oh man, I really just want this done for me. I don't want to actually learn how to do it. Okay, what if I throw in done for you site design and done for you product research? Okay, cool, I'm 100% in. You just unlocked a product that's going to sell millions of dollars worth of stuff for you. Alter the product and then make the product different based on the feedback. And then you're going to have a perfect little muffin. You're going to have an exact blueprint on the type of cake you want to bake. Okay? All right, so then what you want to do when you're going and starting up your product, make a rough sales webinar and then make their ads and run in the most basic of audiences. So example, when I first started up HCOM, I made a very rough sales webinar based on the scripts and everything you're going to see in here. I made really basic ads targeting people that were searching Shopify on Google. That's it. That was it right there. I saw tons of conversions. I knew, bam, I got product market fit. These ads are super profitable. I'm making like an 8x ROI. We got product market fit right here. This is good. If you see conversions come in, refund the purchases. I already had a little bit of HCOM done at that time, so I just started taking the customers right away and started scaling right there. If you don't see any conversions, for example, if you're running a webinar that teaches people how to buy Facebook ads to people that are searching for Facebook ads and are a fan of Facebook ads on Facebook and making and already using Facebook ads, and they're not buying, there's something wrong with the product. It's not a good product market fit. There's something wrong with the pitch. There's something wrong with that. Another thing you need to understand is it takes time to refine your pitches. Going and making an entire webinar is an intense process. So you definitely don't want to go all out on the webinar until the webinar is proven to sell to the most basic of basic audiences. And I'll get into exactly how to start testing this in the ad sections. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, man, is doing all these sales calls and posting on my Facebook wall and making mock webinars and running basic ads and seeing if they work or not, man, is this expensive and hard? Yes, but it's not hard or expensive compared to going all in and creating an entire product and then creating an entire webinar and then running ads to it and then it failing. I've done this before. I did this in a supplement business. Okay. Actually, the supplement business worked, but it wasn't going to scale to the levels I wanted to with as little effort as I wanted. It was going to take tons of effort. It was called Spectre. And so I spent like $80,000 making the product. I made this entire webinar. I made all the sales funnels. I made these crazy checkout pages, crazy landing pages. And then I launched the business, and it just was like, it was in a market that's already been solved, nootropics. And so the business worked. It was like profitable, like 50% profit margin, but not scalable at all easily. I would have had to shut down all my other businesses and just focus on this business to make it work. And that was the definition of baking a giant cake the size of a house, when I could have just made a muffin, and I could have just made like a rough webinar of it. I could have made the ads, and I could have made just mock checkout pages. And it would have told me right away exactly how this is going to do. Okay. And that's what I did with HCOM, super profitable business. Then I didn't follow my own advice on that business. You said it happens. So you can also do this in SaaS and services. So for example, if services are one of the best things you can sell in sales funnels. So for example, if you're having trouble really making profit in your ads, consider making your business a service instead. And I'll talk about how to make services and product design and everything here in the sample. I've had service businesses where instead of teaching people how to do SEO, we just basically did the outsourcing of the SEO for them. All right, we just build the ad. We'd build the link network for them. Man, I would run that webinar. When we ran it one time, we generated over $50,000 a month reoccurring from one webinar and actually there wasn't even a webinar. There was not even a webinar. And now that I'm recalling back to it, it was just a simple 2-day launch process. Absolutely killed it. Same exact thing. I had a SaaS product. It only cost me like $50,000 to develop. And the way I got the idea for both of these was by baking a cake. And so, for example, with the SaaS product, I made a really rough webinar. I made some basic ads. I sold to and I also sold to my list a little bit. I just ran it to just a few people, and it just exploded. And so, and then I developed a whole SaaS around it, and it got to $100,000 a month, literally on the first webinar we ever ran it on. So you have to understand it. So when you're making a SaaS or a service, do the same exact thing. Post on your wall, talk to people, sell your service over fake phone calls, sell your SaaS over fake phone calls, and make a SaaS that you can design to sell high ticket. All right, you want your minimum account level to be $9.97 a month. That has to be the lowest account level, because then you can make your ads work. Okay, if you're doing like $49 a month, it's a pain in the ass to scale to ads. It's not going to work. Or it's going to be very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. And doing very difficult things sucks. So same exact thing. Do the whole sales call, do the whole networking, do the whole talk to people, then make a rough sales webinar, make ads, run in the most basic of audiences, get on calls, sell it. If people don't buy it and it's rejected, ask why and start collecting data until you can create the perfect SaaS or service for people, and then sell that perfect SaaS or service. Achieve product market fit first, then start scaling with your ads. Scaling something without product market fit is so damn hard. It's so damn unprofitable too. Okay? Now, I also want to state one thing. When you first launch your business and you start launching your ads, you want to see a 4 to 8x ROI with base audiences before committing to anything. So, for example, when I launched HCOM, right out the gate, I was seeing 8x ROIs. Now, the reason why you want to see 4 to 8x ROIs and not 2x ROIs is because when you start to scale, those 2x ROIs are going to shrink down to a 1x. Those 8x's are going to shrink to a 4x's. Those 4x's are going to shrink to a 2 to 3x. You never, ever, ever want to operate with the belief that your ads, when they're first profitable, it's going to stay like that. Because what happens when you first launch an ad is you reach a market that's never seen your product before. And so you're going to have a lot of really hot people that will just buy. They're already in the market, but you're going to run out of those people in like a week or two. All right, especially in a month. And once you're past the month, you're really operating with cold audiences, and you're going to start operating with your true ROI and true numbers. So if you're at an 8x ROI when you first launch off to your core market, it's probably going to drop to about a 4 to 5x ROI when you start to scale or when you run out of really hot customers. This is why you see so many people, they launch a new webinar and they post on Facebook, hey, hitting 10x ROIs or hitting 3x ROIs, we're absolutely crushing it. And then you never see them post about the webinar again. You want to know why? It's because they ran out of hot customers right out the gate. And then the webinar actually doesn't work with cold traffic or at scale at all. And so what they did is they super committed to an entire cake. That's what happened there. They committed to an entire cake. They built all the ads. They got super committed into it. They're even posting on Facebook how successful they are. And then 2 weeks later, the ROI is not there anymore. This is why people's ad ROIs constantly fall. It's because they start in a hot market with hot customers, And then they can't convince lukewarm customers. They can only convince the hot people. So understand, you want to see a 4 to 8x ROI before you even think of committing to building an entire, like going all in and like really shooting like crazy webinars and doing all the stuff that I'm going to show you in this program. So you want to understand that. You want to see that 4 to 8x ROI or 4 to 8x ROI on your fake call sales funnels. That's the key right there. Again, it might cost you like $500, $1,000, maybe even $3,000 to $5,000 to test this, but it's so much better than going and spending $3,000 to $5,000 on a complete cake and losing all your money and then also saying, oh man, this didn't work at all. Okay, it depends on where you are at business-wise. If your business is already doing $50,000, $100,000 a month, I know a lot of people in this program are doing that. You can invest $5,000 in baking a muffin. If you can't invest that money, all right, if you already have a business doing $5,000, $10,000 a month, it's worth investing $1,000 to bake the muffin. If you don't have any money coming in right now, it's worth posting on your Facebook call and networking and talking to people about the product and crafting the product with them before ever thinking of going out there and running ads to it. You have to find out the product market fit. Now, the last thing I want to start off is think about the end of sales. I want you to think from the, let's imagine you have a finite amount of money, a finite amount of customers you can get into the funnel. What happens is what a lot of people do is when they start seeing their ads work, they scale, and they have a very leaky bucket business, and the product isn't defined yet. They haven't really worked with the customers to really refine the product. So for example, at Hyros, my ads are getting a 500% ROI, but I'm not scaling. And you're probably like wondering like, why aren't you scaling? It's because if I'm able to work one-on-one with the customers coming in and with my team, and we're able to work with them and develop integrations around them and really work with them to build a product, we can make a product that is good every single time, like an assembly line, but it takes a lot of effort to get to that point. If I started scaling the ads right now, what would happen is our support would get overwhelmed, my customer success team would get overwhelmed, there'd be a lot of edge cases that happen with the software, so we wouldn't be able to work with every customer one-on-one to fix those edge cases, and what would happen is we'd lose 50% of our customers probably, just not because the software doesn't work, but just because they're not getting attention and there's just so many little edge cases or random occurrences that happen in software. I don't accept that. That's not good. And so what I'm doing is I keep the ads very low right now, while making an ROI from them, but I keep them at a stable point because I don't want to lose a single customer. There's no such thing as disposable customers. There's no extra customers laying around out there. So what a lot of people do when they see an 8x ROI is they try to scale to $5,000, $10,000 a day, and yeah, they make money, but they make like 75% less money than they could if they kept all the customers and worked on the product first. What you do when you see the product market fit is you then start working on the product with the customer, and you make the product perfect, you make the funnel perfect, you make the ads perfect, you make everything super optimized, then you scale. And you're going to make almost 75% to 100% more money. And you need to think of, let's say you can only make $10 million in sales in your business, okay? And if you launch your product and you go absolutely nuts with it right off the bat, you're going to probably lose $5 million of that $10 million in sales, which is a huge shame. It's a huge shame. You're going to lose $5 million of that, of the total money you can make. And so you don't want to be figuring out and optimizing while you're scaling. You want to get the muffin, make sure it works, optimize the hell out of it, then scale. That's how you grow ads, and that's how you make the maximum amount of money, and you do that. Because with a lot of courses and coaching, there is a maximum amount of money you can make in some niches, especially when the niche is really hot. Okay. There is other times you don't want to do this. For an example, a really perfect example of this is when Ty Lopez launched a Bitcoin product. Guy had I don't think he's a Bitcoin coach. I don't know much about Ty, but he launched a Bitcoin product because he saw it was hot and he needed to hop into that niche right away. And he just popped in there, launched it up there, and got in there just bare knuckles and did that. And that's the only time you really want to go out there and do that, okay? Again, that depends also how you want the customer to be treated. Look, if you just make a product from absolute scratch, throw it out there, rush it out there, scale it up, your support's not going to be good, the product's not going to be great. It's just going to be, if you rush something out there, the customer's not going to be taken care of, and that's really not in any long-term business's best interest. Okay, so you don't want to consider that. So what I'm going to suggest is you make a muffin until you have a winner. You refine the winner. Then you bake a serious cake. Then you optimize the hell out of it, all right, with everything we're going to talk about when we get into the funnel section. Then you scale it. That's why ads are coming last in this program. So this is what baking muffins is and why it's so incredibly important. You never want to make a cake before you bake a muffin.